All right, so today I am focusing on rebuilding this floor pan. I have some sheet metal. I have another floor pan, but it's probably just as bad. I'm gonna have to fabricate these holes right here. I punched them with the screwdriver to see how thin the metal was. So right here where I was not able to punch a hole, that's about as far back as I'm gonna go. But all these other sections, the metal's really weak. Then going up in here, and it seems to be okay right there, but I'm gonna have a closer look. But all this right here is rotted out. Got big ass holes right there. You can already see I wire wheeled this, but let's see if I could get a better shot here. All this right here, all that, and in there. Yep, there you go. That's a good shot right there. This is the bracket right here. Let's get a better view of that bracket. Cut it. I have another bracket that I think I might be able to reuse, and I gotta fix that right there. So all this is gonna get patched up. I think here in this section, I'll probably go about up to here. Cut out all of the cancerous metal, and put some fresh metal in there. That really seems to be about as bad as it gets. It's really about there where we got pitting going on. Then in order to get to that, I did have to remove the fender. So the fender's off. In order to get the fender off, I had to drop the whole front end. So right now she's got no front end, no grill, but it gave us really good access into here. And now from here, I got to take some of this off right here and see how bad it is down in this area right here. But this right here, not sure what that is. Metal there. It's just, it looks like it's mostly surface rust. I don't have any pitting. It doesn't look weak. But anywhere where it looks weak, that's where I'll be cutting and patching in new pieces. While I was in here, I checked all this right here, and all this is just surface rust. Yeah, it's just surface rust. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And once in here, I got an opportunity to clean all this up. Seems like the rust, the really bad spots are inside, down behind this panel here. Yep, you can see the pitting going on there. Yep, that's no good. No good right there. And let's see. Yeah, that's really about it. That's really it down in that section right there. All this else seems to be pretty good. So I'll probably be cutting about up to here. And about here, I don't want to cut this channel out. This is structural right there. All this is structural, but this is more panel right here. So I could probably cut down this way, and I gotta cut on the inside down here. Yep, along that section right there. But yeah. Then I'm gonna have to go into the passenger side. Let's take a look at the passenger side here. So that right there, the driver's side, I don't know how long it took me, but probably about a good, I'd estimate about a good 5 hours worth of work right there. Passenger side, for the most part, everything behind this bracing is good, but I got some really bad spots right up in here. I saw some pitting right here. Looks like it's going through the floor. Electrical tester, test light. Yep, that should not be like that. I should not be able to poke through it like that. Yep, there it goes. See that? So, looks like on this side, I'm probably gonna have to remove this. Well, I am gonna have to remove this because it's part of that right there. So take this guy out. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. I think the passenger side's gonna be a lot harder. I got a lot of pitting going on here. Look at that. Yep, all of that, all of that, all of that. This is like turning back to dirt, man. This is decomposing back to earth. All up in there. Big asshole, look at that. Too bad the manual doesn't talk about that. I wish the manual had a step-by-step, but nope, that's not the case. So I'll probably be cutting about right here. This brace right here is pretty jacked up as well. See all that right there? Yep. So all that's gonna come out. So I'll probably cut this section out. Whatever's good, I'm keeping. Anyways, this is the passenger side. We'll get to this when we get to this. It'll be the next one once we get that side back together. Then once that's all back together, then we're ready to move on to putting some new mirrors. I have the tow mirrors for the passenger and driver side. Front suspension is getting rebuilt. I got a youngster working on that right now, teaching him how to build suspension. And then I'll finish up all the cabin work, all the cab work. So that's it. Today is September the 21st, 22nd, something like that. And this is where we're at today. Hey, what's up everybody? Today is October 21st, Saturday. Finally, I have a whole Saturday to work. What are we doing today? Well, I have this floor pan that I got from another Toyota pickup. I think it was an 81. And I cut out the whole floor pan. I separated the rocker panels. And in separating the rocker panels, I took the parts that were still useful. And you can see here that I've separated it at all the tack welds. All right, so each drill spot is where I've separated tack welds. All right, I'll show you what the truck looks like before and after. So today, we have this right here. And this is what I'm repairing on that side. So I'll walk you through right now everything that's been done so far. All right, so rocker panels came out. I took the good pieces out of it. I've ordered floor pans. Let's bring you back here again. Here's the driver's side floor pan that's gonna go in. So it's getting a new floor pan in there. What else? Walk you over here really quick. I had this hood that I got from I don't know, a Trans Am. I forget, like 90s Trans Am. There's the bottom part of it. Separated the bottom part, took the hood using the sheet metal off the hood. All right, I've taken this sheet metal. This is my welding table right here. The flatbed makes a great welding table. And I've bent sheet metal, marked it and have shaped it using this and using vice grips and shit like that. Let me walk you back over here and show you the progress so far, where we're at before we get to it. All right, so before I started doing all the shaping of metal and stuff like that, I did have to go in here and cut out all of the really bad part of the floor pan, and it was pretty bad. Here's an example of what it looked like on the driver's side. We're dealing with this, and I think this looks like it was the part that goes right here. Yep, that was that right there. Look how bad that was. All right, pitted right through. All right, so where are we at today? Okay, so this right here, yeah, the welds are not the greatest. Let me find the flashlight here really quick. Here it is. Turn it on. Okay, welds are not the greatest, but I do have some seam sealer on the way here. It should arrive pretty soon. Okay, so this section right here, where the cut is forward, is Trans Am hood. Trans Am? Firebird, I think it was. Okay, so that's hood. The bottom section is original truck rocker panel, original rocker panel. All this was rusted out, and you can see here, this is not pitted. I'm gonna have to go in there and sand that really good, and then give it a good coat. All right. The worst part was over here in the front. All right, and so now there were like 3 layers in there. Okay. Yeah, 3 layers, I believe. Okay, so I've had to figure this out. All right, so this layer right here, this piece, was from the good rocker panel. This is an original Toyota section. and I'm getting ready to lay this in here. This goes under here. Good angle there, because I'm doing this one-handed, and sometimes I gotta use my I gotta look away from the camera to not see it through the camera. Okay, so it goes under there like this, and it goes out towards the front. I haven't tacked that in yet, so we should still be able to get through. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is going to go in there like that. All right. Okay, yeah, I don't have anything to hold it with, but to give you an idea here, actually, let me see if I can hold it with one hand and pin it down here. Okay, there we go. All right, so just to give you an idea, it's a quick little mock-up. All right, so it goes around the front. Then this section here, this section was pretty gnarly to figure out. Welds look shitty. Fuck, it fucking burns right through this sheet metal. So lots of seam sealer is gonna go into this. But okay. So it had, the original had this plate. I think you've seen it in the rocker panel earlier. So it had this plate. So I cut out this plate. This is Trans Am hood right here material. The bottom portion is original pickup material. This upper portion is Trans Am, and you can see it angles. It angles because as it goes in there, it takes an angle. It's really weird. So I had to hammer that into the shape of the angle. Hammered out, sanded off all the paint, tacked it through from end to end, sealed up all the pinholes. Then I took this plate and tacked on the plate where all the original holes were. Alright, so that's layer number 2 and layer number 3, where my thumb is at. 2, 3. Alright? Then this is gonna go right in here like this. Or Das Ruiz. I don't know who's calling. I'm gonna have to call him back. Okay. So then that goes in like that. We're gonna weld that up. Then once that's welded up, fuck, where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Once that's welded up, there's this other piece. This piece right here is the body mount. So then this goes like that, welded up to this piece right here like this. All right, that goes welded up like that. Then we can put the floor pan. Once the floor pan is in, we can seal up all the little sections that remain open. Like that's gonna be patched up. This is gonna be patched up. That little corner up there is gonna be patched up, and we're gonna have some strip that's gonna come along here and get patched up all the way up to there. All right, so right now I am, couldn't close that, getting ready to cut this right here. You can see it's already been marked up, lined up and marked. That might be a little too high where I originally marked it. That actually feels more like that's where it should be at. And I do have it pinned. No, but it doesn't line up. See, this is like a lot of the work that goes into patching up panels. It's good to have the original, an original piece that's still good. There we go. That lines up nicely right there. But it doesn't line up there. Okay, that's because I still have a piece of sheet metal here that is taking up that thickness and not letting it align. And I think that side back there where I pinned it with the is like half-ass aligned, right? So if I align this side good, then I could pin that side. That's probably where I should really draw the line. I was ready to cut here, but now I'm not gonna cut there yet. First, I'm going to pin it all down with vice grips, mark it up the way it should be, then I'm gonna draw the lines and then cut it. So there's a lot of that goes into this job right here. Right, so a lot of mocking up, drawing the lines, the contours, and
and then cutting it as best as I could, trying to be very careful not to fuck up the cuts. Cutting it, tacking it back in where I untacked it. You can see there, I had to drill those holes to untack it from the rocker panel. And yeah, so then this job right now, just the driver's side alone, I think I've been at it for like about 4 weeks. Here and there, weekday evenings as I could, with the little bit of daylight that I get left. And haven't had much for weekends to work on it, but this is it. So I'll get back to this video here, and I will show you where we're at by the end of the day, and where we're at by the end of the day, and where we're at the end of the job on the driver's side. All right, stay tuned. All right, today is Sunday, October 22nd. Got a lot of work done yesterday. You can see here, all this is welded up. All right, we're just about ready to drop in the floor pan. Got this welded up too. Got to smooth it out. Smooth out all of that. Not right now though, we can smooth it out later. Leave that like that. Just remove all the, I forget what this stuff is called. Not bad though. It's sealed. This is a little tough spot right there, but on this side, what do we got going on there? Yeah, it's still a bit of a hole, so I'm gonna have to patch that up a little bit more. See if I can fill that in. Let's go around this side. Show you what we're dealing with today. All right, so oh yeah, finished all this up right here too. Got to patch that up right there. And how we looking down here? This is probably like the last welds that I did last night. Let's see, let's get a better focus there. All right, all of that right there, see that? And as I was going through it, I would smooth it out and then find the holes and weld it up again. So I haven't smoothed this out yet. Right here you can see it's been smoothed out with some welds in between. So like that's a smoothed out section there. And where it's dark, those are the low spots. That's all right though. Main thing is that it's pretty solid. Okay, so like that pinhole right there, I gotta drop some more beads on that and then smooth it out. Same here. It's very tedious work doing this. It's a way that I know how to do it, so you can see here where I have these big gaps. I drop in a few beads, just a quick little like pop. I don't know, like a second squeeze of a trigger, just when it flashes and then back off. And it creates these little beads there. And then once it fills up with enough beads, then I could go ahead and start doing welds, like real welds, like what we have going on here, right? And that's really where I have the big gaps. Where I don't have big gaps, it's pretty easy to weld up. So that's a lesson learned. Big gaps are hard to fill, so don't do that. All right, next here we have the floor pan, and there's a floor pan mount, body mount. Where is it? Let's see. Looking for that body mount. Where'd I leave it at? Dang. Oh, here it is. All right. Okay, so body mount goes there. All right, so the first problem that I realized is the hole doesn't line up completely. It's off by like a few hundredths of an inch, maybe a few tenths of an inch. All right, so it should sit back a little bit more. All right, no big deal. It's not a deal breaker. But here is where it gets a little more difficult. Here, I take my floor pan. So I was mocking it up yesterday, and forgive me if I do this one-handed. It's a little tough doing it one-handed, but here we go. All right. So, see the floor pan sits nicely in the, because of this recess. All right. Then, if I line it up here, all right, that's pretty much lined up. All right, good enough. Here, the problem that I have is, here, let's level this up here. So easy to work with it when there's a big ass hole there, big ass gap in the floor. It's easy to just reach through, but now that I have this here. All right, so here is my problem. Gap there. I'm not gonna fill that in with seam sealer. All right, so I could probably push this in a little bit more. All right, no big deal. Push it in, push it in. All right, that's pushed in all the way. All right, cool. But I'm way off center there, and I'm sitting too high here. Too high. So what do we do here? Here we are sitting nicely, flush. It's about flush right there. But here, we're too high. Let me get a magnet. There we go. That's about flush right there. Fuck. Nope, doesn't magnetize there. Okay, so we got a gap right in here. Gap gets wider and then it gets thinner back there. And we are too high there. Let's get a tape measure and measure it right quick. Here we go. All right, so that is about flush here. Okay, we'll flush it up there. And one-handed again. Tape measure. How high are we? Let's see, right there. Fuck, fucking tape measure doesn't fit. I need a smaller one. Here we go. Okay. Little guy here. All right. Flush. And we are about 1/4 inch high. Look at that. Just about 1/4 inch high. A little more than 1/4 inch if you go deeper in there. Damn near 1/2 inch. And here we have about 1/4 inch gap. I'm not really too concerned about the gap. I'm more worried about this height. The gap we could figure out. We could hammer that shit out and straighten it out a bit. I think it's just touching over there. It's probably just this flap here or this lip on the underside that probably just needs to be bent a little bit. That's easy stuff. This right here is my concern. All right, so stay tuned for an update. I'll let you know how it all went. All right, quick update. So earlier, this section right here was really wide. In the other video I showed you how it was it wasn't fitting. Okay, now here's what we did. I came in here with a grinder, just put the disc through it in the high sections to remove some material. And this whole section right here was high. So I took the grinder, ran it through. You can see the two sections there, and there's a different cut right there. And then after that material was removed, tapped it with a hammer. All right, just gently tapped it, and that brought us to pretty damn square. All right, okay. Also, the edges have now been matched up. So lesson learned from yesterday, try not to leave big gaps. Close the gap as quickly as tight as possible. But the one problem that I still have, okay, I had to also do a little bit of finagling here. I had to cut this out, and also the body mount, I had to do some cutting on the body mount there. You can see how it's not the same original shape anymore. All right, painted the body mount. Painted it, gonna clean up the spots where it's gonna get tacked. All right, this runs through it now, but I still have this one problem where it sits a little high here. All right, and it was high on this side, so I took a cut there and then hammered it in a little bit. But this is okay, it's still got a little bit of a gap there, but given that it's been cut, it gives us some flexibility to push this section up into this wall. Also, I drilled some holes here. Where are they at? Oh, they're down here. I'll show you those holes. Just gotta remove this. Alright, right here. Okay. Let's see, this right here. Let me move that right there. Right here. Okay. That and that. 2 more tacks to get this to touch there. That's what we want. We want that pressing up against that right there, and that'll be good. All right, and probably hit it with 1 more tack around the backside right there where I'm blocking out that light. Once I get these 2 tacked in there. All right, so we're ready to start tacking again. All right, so we gotta seal this up right here. This whole section. Finish that up. Right there, right there. Now that I have some daylight, take advantage of that. That over there. And then once that's ready, I think what I'll do next is I'll put the mount in there and tack the mount in place. Mount tacked in place here to this guy, and then test fit it really quick. Test fit the floor pan. Make sure that the tacks are good. Tacks are good, take it back out and finish welding that body mount to the floor pan, because I don't want to be welding upside down. I hate getting all the sparks all over my neck. They burn. So we're going to avoid that situation. And I'll still be down here and welding upside down from in here, but it's easier to approach a vertical weld from underneath. Vertical meaning like I'm welding against a wall, as opposed to like welding straight up like on a ceiling, if that makes sense. All right, stay tuned. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, October the 26th. And just a quick update on Monday night. Ouch, I'm in a lot of pain right now. But on Monday night,
Finished welding in this section here of the floor pan, and it looks like, do I have some rusting going on there already? It looks like I might have some rusting going on. I should probably shoot it really quick with some paint to avoid any rust going on there. But anyways, for the most part it's in there. Maybe some seam sealer or maybe finishing up the welds here. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And then I got this side welded in underneath the truck. I can't crawl down there right now because, like I said, I'm in a lot of pain. I gotta use a crutch to walk right now. So what next? Next is I gotta do all that right there, and that section down there, and that right there. I don't know, at this rate, fuck man, I can't do shit today. But at this rate, who knows how long that's gonna be. But I gotta figure out how I'm going to get this piece right here to mate. Because I gotta push it down a bit. I gotta get this piece in to here. It's a pretty gnarly ridge, so I think I might have to bend this piece back in a bit. Yeah, so that's probably what I'll be doing, is I'll probably be bending this edge here. So you can see that right there. It's a pretty steep jump from that section to this section. So it looks like bending it out a bit in that direction where my finger is pointing to get it to line up to this. Don't know what I'll do about the ribs. I think maybe get a cut here and a cut there, and then bend this part out, or let's see, yeah, here, right there, it's almost pretty much aligned. I don't know, we'll see, we'll figure that out. And then this section, so it looks like it's sitting a little bit high, so just a little bit of a bend there to get it to come back in, and that should do it. We'll have the driver's side done then. Hello. Today is Tuesday, October the 31st. It's about 4:30 p.m. I'm ready to start working on it. The workday is over, so I am just untarping it right now to get ready to start my work after work evening. All right, so where are we at today? Check it out. Fuck, this shit is actually a lot more harder than what I thought it would be, surprisingly, but here we are. So now I've got a couple of patches welded in here. Still a little messy here, I gotta clean it up, but it's coming along here, all of this. Got a couple of little holes there that I still need to patch up, and got to get that area back there patched up, but it's in there solid. Now is this section here. This should come along pretty quick. This one was difficult because of the shapes that I have here, and I had these ribs in it and these bends, and then this was offset from this section. I think I showed that in an earlier video, and it actually came out pretty good. It was a lot of bending by hand that I had to do here in order to shape the sheet metal. 20 gauge, that hood from the car was too thin, didn't work. But yep, so that's it for now, and I'll give you an update later. Just to give you an idea, today I started at about 5 p.m., 4:30 or 5 p.m. It's now 9 p.m. and in that time, what I did was I installed this strip right here. the majority of the time. I'd say probably about 80% of that time I spent shaping it and getting it to move with the contours. So like right here it drops, right here it rises, and so I had to get this small piece to mate from this floorboard, and then it rises up this way, and then it's got a I forget what these are called, but it pops up an embossment right there, and then right here it curves, and all the while welding it on and fitting it and grinding it down, and then after I finished doing that, then I took the sanding wheel and I sanded off all of the excess, and then went through a sanding wheel, and then after the sanding wheel I went through this what is it, polycarbide disc, and you can see there it's almost done. It's usually about ½ an inch tall, and there's nothing left on it, and I was just cleaning up this little bit right here. So to give you an idea, if a piece like that took about 4 hours, this piece right here took about 3 hours. This one right here, because it has this divot right here and then it bends in, this one took me also about 3 hours, and then there's two of them here, and these two took me about 2 hours. Shaping this and cutting this right here to make the cab to the new floorboard, probably about another 2 hours. So what's this, about 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 4, about 15 hours in so far on this right here, and this is just whenever I could squeeze it in. Yep. So I know people are gonna ask, people are gonna say, hey, sell me your truck for $2,000, $5,000. And this right here is so that you know that this craftsmanship going into this. This is not just your half-assed build. This is good quality that I'm putting into it, and it's going to be a lot more material that's going into it. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, today is Thursday, November 2nd, and here's the floor pan. It's about 4 p.m. now. I've just come outside, start working on it. I worked on it yesterday, got the floor pan buttoned up. Yesterday I finished that section there, and it's pretty much done. So next steps, I gotta grind that down a little bit, all that I gotta deburr it. All right, so we'll do some deburring. I have some polycarbide discs for that, and then once I'm done deburring it, I'll go back and give it one more touch up where I still have some gaps. There's still some areas where there's still a gap, like probably right there, definitely right there. You can still see a straight line right there where the two surfaces meet. Right there, right there, right there. So all along the floor pan there's gaps still. So I'm gonna clean it up, deburr it, go back and cover up those gaps. See that one right there? It's right there, a little light peeking through it there. That's a gap right there. All right, and then once those gaps are gapped up, then I'll deburr it one more time, and I will seal it up with seam sealer. That'll be the last step there. So that's about it. I'll give you an update on where we're at next. All right, it's Friday, November 3rd, and I finally have it all buttoned up. I got the seat mount installed. I got the seam sealer
It's all sealed up at the seams. You see it there. Just got to give it a quick little touch up where I have these holes. But other than that, the driver's side is pretty much done. Now I just gotta tighten that down, and what else? Yeah, I think we're ready to start the passenger side now. Here. Oh, I gotta go down under here on this side. Down here, and up in there where my finger's pointing. It's like probably about like that high around the back is the other side of this panel. So I gotta seam seal it around the back. And last thing is after I seam seal it, I'm gonna give it a quick coat of primer, and that'll be it. Ready. All right, so check it out. So that side is now about 99% done. I'm just waiting for that seam sealer to dry, and then I'm gonna start spraying it with a coat of primer. Seam sealer has been put on both on this side. That's that white stuff that you can see there. Let's see, see that white stuff right there? That right there is the seam sealer. And I put it on this side, and I put it on the underside, all in every section where it's been welded. Sorry, on the top and the bottom. So the way it looks here at the top, that's the way it is at the bottom too. All right, so while we wait for that to dry and get that kind of primer ready, let me bring it over here to where we're at with the passenger side. And what the driver's side originally looked like was like this. It's like dirt pretty much. This right here, that is the mount. You can see the edge of the mount right there, body mount. So that's pretty much shot. This is done. Look at that. It's pretty nasty. It's like dirt. It's probably the collection of rust and dirt over the years. This little section here, this little strip, no good. But there's a lot of lessons learned in that last one that I did. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure the floor pan, the new floor pan, and I'm gonna cut only to the size of the floor pan. Then once I got the new floor pan cut out, whatever section is good, leave it. Whatever section is bad, whatever section is bad, that will be the section that I will cut out, so that way I keep the patching down to a minimum. It'd be nice if I could just straight throw the floor pan in there, but I'm sure it's gonna be like what I had over there. Like that little corner back there is like, that section was rotted, so I had to cut that section out and build that. And okay, before I could even put in the floor pan though, this section right here is pretty bad also. So I gotta take this apart, get in there, and then repair this section here, probably about up to here, same as I did over there. You can see it there where that white line is at, and that clear metal right about there where I'm blocking it, right there. And that is all new metal. That side was like this. All right, so that is what we're up against. It took about 6 weeks to finish that, so if I could get this done in about 4 weeks, that's a huge win. And what I'll do is I'll start documenting more of those time-lapsed videos here on this side to capture the process of cutting this out and measuring it and welding it up.